Hey guys, welcome back to Nacho Mama's Kitchen. Today we're going to make birria tacos. Birria is a Mexican stewed meat. It is stewed in a lot of spices and dried chili peppers. It is not spicy at all. It is just a red, thick, delicious gravy that the meat is stewed in for a few hours, or maybe about a little bit less than 2 hours. And they make the most delicious tacos you will have. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Here I'm seasoning the meat with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm using coarse pepper and salt to season my meat. I'm also using tri-tip. Usually birria is made with lamb. Some people use lamb, and then others use chuck roast, and they cut it into cubes. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our dry chili pots. I'm using 3 California peppers, and I'm also going to be using a few chile de árbol. Those are a bit spicier, so you can add just one. And these are guajillos. I'm using about 4 of those, and some bay leaves. Those bay leaves are going to go in at the end, so you don't need to toast those. And then I'm using some cloves. I have about 4 cloves, and then large peppercorns, as well as a small peppercorns. And the small peppercorns, oop, there it goes. Small peppercorns, I'm using about 10 of those. And then the larger peppercorns, I'm using about 4 of those large peppercorns, okay? And so now I'm going to go ahead and start um, cutting the stem from the dried chili pods and taking out the seeds and the stems. I'm going to go ahead and do that to all of my chili pods before they hit a dry, hot pan. So here I have the chili pods toasting on low medium heat. I just threw in my cloves, my large peppercorns, and my small peppercorns into the mix. And all you want to do is toast them lightly on both sides. You do not want to burn them. So make sure you're constantly watching them and constantly turning them. The aroma that is going to come out of these chili pods, the cloves, and the peppercorns, it's going to be amazing. You're going to just love standing by them and watching them roast. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and blend all of our roasted peppers in the blender. So in go all of our roasted peppers with the peppercorns and the cloves into the blender. So after all of the peppers are in the blender, we're going to go ahead and add some of our seasonings. The first thing that I'm going to add is a quarter of a teaspoon of cumin. Into the blender it goes. And after I add the cumin, I'm going to add a quarter of a teaspoon of oregano powder. And that goes into the blender as well. I just wanted to give you a second shot of that in case you missed it. And then after I throw in my oregano powder, I'm going to go ahead and add a quarter of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now, some people add half of a stick of cinnamon to the blender and just blend it up with the peppers, and you can do that as well. I just prefer the ground cinnamon, so that's what I'm using today. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of Better Than Bouillon, a seasoned vegetable base, similar to a vegetable stock. If you don't have Better Than Bouillon, you can add 1 cup of vegetable stock to the blender. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of water and blend. For some reason my camera cut off, so I went ahead and seared the tri-tip in a little bit of olive oil, transferred it to a foil pan, and then put the sauce over it that we blended and put it in the oven in a 400-degree oven. Threw in our bay leaves as well, covered it with aluminum foil, and baked it for about an hour and 45 minutes. I let the meat slightly cool, then I'm going to go ahead and transfer it over to my cutting board, and I'm going to go ahead and chop up the meat. The meat is very tender, as you can see. It's not struggling, it is very tender, and it's shredding perfectly. Now comes the fun part, assembling the tacos. I went ahead and charred 2 corn tortillas on my stove. I just wanted to go ahead and warm them through. And now I'm going to go ahead and place the chopped meat on top of the tortillas. The next thing you want to do is go ahead and add a little bit of the gravy that the meat stewed in. This gravy is so flavorful and it has such a wonderful aroma. And what is a taco without onion and cilantro? I had already chopped up some onion and cilantro, so I want to go ahead and add that to my tacos. Now I garnish with a wedge of lime, a nice roasted mild pepper, and finally, last but not least, I think this is my favorite part, a drizzle of my homemade salsa. This is a habanero salsa that I make every week because I love spicy salsas, and it's one of my all-time favorites. I'm going to go ahead and link the recipe for the habanero salsa below so you can go ahead and give it a try. And there you have it, my tri-tip birria tacos. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to tune in next time to see what we're cooking in Nacho Mama's kitchen. Until next time.